How many times have we heard Donald Trump praise Elon Musk in the last 4 or 5 years for being so smart? Let me count the ways. And yet, in this breaking story, Elon's current problem and failure comes to mind when I think, how many times in life have I looked at a bad situation and thought to myself, you probably didn't think this all the way through, did you, Elon? Because one of the things that fame and power and being thrust in the spotlight is, you're in the spotlight. And when the spotlight's on, people start looking really close. And I'm going to show you that breaking story in just a few seconds because it looks like a huge part of Elon's empire might just be over. And en route to that, let's take a quick look at what some of the folks have had to say about his wonderful baby known as the Cybertruck.
But these things are rare. It's very rare that a product comes along that is seemingly impossible, that people said was impossible, that experts said was impossible.
So let me tell you the first reason why I think this truck is overrated. It's this: what it's made out of, the stainless steel body.
That experts said would never be made.
That bit's pretty cool, right? And I suppose it's never going to rust, especially out here in Los Angeles. However, though, this is the only colour you can get it in. Therefore, most of the Cybertrucks I've seen in Los Angeles have been wrapped, and I can certainly understand why, because if you keep it in the original colour, as you can see here on the doors, they accumulate a lot of fingerprints, and it's an absolute nightmare to keep clean.
I think it's our best product. I think it's the most unique thing on the road.
CEO Elon Musk is a close ally of US President Donald Trump, and his support of far-right parties in Europe also appears to have hurt sales in the region.
I am doing this reluctantly. It would be very easy for me to not make a video about the Cybertruck because I openly don't like it.
And finally, the future will look like the future.
My grandma was one of those types of people that used to say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say it at all.
Yeah, the future should look like the future. Well, Elon, based on your failure at the Cybertruck, Forbes has just informed you what your future likely looks like financially when it comes to your Cybertruck. Take a listen. Elon's Edsel. Tesla Cybertruck is the auto industry's biggest flop in decades. Elon Musk's polygonal pickup is a polarizing sales flop that missed the billionaire's volume goal by a staggering 84%, and there's no sign that things are improving. The list of famous auto industry flops is long and storied, topped by stinkers like Ford's Edsel and exploding Pinto and General Motors' unsightly Pontiac Aztek crossover SUV. Even John DeLorean's sleek stainless steel DMC-12, iconic from its role in the Back to the Future films, was a sales dud that drove the company to bankruptcy. Elon Musk's pet project, the dumpster-driving Tesla Cybertruck, now tops that list. After a little over a year at market, sales of the 6,600-pound vehicle priced from $82,000 are laughably below what Musk predicted. Its lousy reputation for quality, with 8 recalls in the past 13 months, the latest for body panels that fall off, and polarizing look made it a punchline for comedians. Unlike past auto flops that just looked ridiculous or sold badly, Musk's truck is also a focal point for global Tesla protests spurred by the billionaire's job-slashing Doge roll and MAGA politics. In quotes, it's right up there with Edsel, said Eric Noble, president of consultancy Car Lab and a professor at Arts Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. Tesla's design chief Franz Holzhausen, who styled Cybertruck for Musk, is a graduate of its famed transportation design program. It's a huge swing and a huge miss. The quarterly slowdown underscores the fact that when it comes to the Cybertruck, results are nowhere near the billionaire entrepreneur's carnival barker claims. In quotes, demand is off the charts, he crowed during a results call in November of 2023, just before the first units started shipping to customers. We have over 1 million people who have reserved the car. In anticipation of high sales, Tesla even modified its Austin Gigafactory so it could produce up to 250,000 Cybertrucks a year, capacity investments that aren't likely to be recouped. In quotes, they didn't just say they wanted to sell a lot. They capitalized to sell a lot, said industry researcher Glenn Mercer, who leads Cleveland-based advisory firm GM Automotive. But the assumption of massive demand has proven foolhardy, and it failed to account for the self-inflicted wounds that further stymied sales. Turns out the elephantine Cybertruck is either too large or non-compliant with some countries' pedestrian safety rules, so there's a little opportunity to boost sales with exports. In quotes, they haven't sold a lot, and it's unlikely in this case that overseas markets can save them. Even China, that's been huge for Tesla cars, Mercer said, it's just really for this market. In quotes, pickup trucks have been the same for 100 years, and Cybertruck doesn't look like anything else, said Musk, who earlier that month had proudly told an audience at a conference for space entrepreneurs, I do zero market research whatsoever. That would be an apt tagline for Musk's preposterous pickup. The spectacular failure of Cybertruck was a failure of empathy, said Car Labs Noble, whose company helps car makers develop products based on consumer research. In quotes, everything from the bed configuration to the cab configuration to its performance and all sorts of pickup truck duty cycle issues. It's not just empathetic to a pickup truck buyer. Ultimately, Musk opted for stainless steel exterior, the same choice DeLorean made for his ill-fated sports car 4 decades earlier. But because Musk isn't a production engineer, he may not have fully appreciated the challenges it presents versus aluminum or composite materials, the person said. Aside from the fact that stainless steel shows handprints and common gripe about kitchen appliances, it's hard to bend and likes to snap back into its original shape. One of the reasons there have been problems with Cybertruck body panels. In quotes, this is where I think they misconstrued the trade-off, Mercer said. They drooled over not spending $200 million on a paint shop, but probably spent that much trying to get the stainless steel to work. In quotes, there were bad omens from the start. At the vehicle's unveiling in November 2019 to raucous Tesla fans in Los Angeles, a demonstration of Cybertruck's supposedly shatterproof armor glass by Musk and von Holzhausen went hilariously awry when the steel ball hurled at the vehicle busted the driver's side window twice. And Musk said, oh my effing God, chagrined Musk, we'll fix it in post. Ha ha. Then there was the price. Musk had promised that the base version of the vehicle with 250 miles of range would start at $39,900. He was off by about half. Currently, the base version of the truck, ostensibly priced from $72,490, costs about $82,235 before a $7,500 federal tax credit that President Trump has vowed to eliminate. It claims up to 325 miles of range if you don't tow anything or drive too fast. The top-end Cyberbeast version is $105,735 and too pricey for the credit. In the end, Musk cursed the Cybertruck by ignoring the reasons people buy pickup trucks, to haul things around and drive well in off-road conditions. The vehicle isn't competent at either of those things, as has been endlessly documented in scathing reviews, a steady stream of Cybertruck fail videos, and 280,000-member Cyberstuck subreddit. Adding to the embarrassment is a developing subgenre of videos showing stymied Cybertrucks being towed to safety by Ford F-150s or GM Silverados. In quotes, if there's anything the Detroit 3 know how to do, it's full-size pickup trucks with extremely loyal buyers, Mercer said. He launched Cybertruck into the teeth of the hardest segment to crack. Good night, sweetheart. Yes, it's time to go. Yep, that's about where you're headed, Elon. You're about to go when it comes to the Cybertruck. Sorry, maybe you should have spent a little more time doing market research and not drooling over the concept of stainless steel. You may know a lot of things, but this is something you clearly should have spent more time learning a little more about. Waste, fraud, and abuse? Yeah. Maybe take a look in the mirror and figure out where your waste and the fraud of the government giving you money is the abuse of the failure of Cybertruck. You guys stay frosty.